Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Darth Aurora, and today we are playing a very special game, actually a mod pack for Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh no, actually this is Asagao Academy by, well, I'm not actually sure who made it, but basically it's like a visual novel about a bunch of like YouTubers within the normal boots community, you know, like Peanut Butter Gamer, Space Hamster, John Trout, all the cool guys basically, and well, I don't actually watch many of them like on YouTube on a regular basis, but I do love Peanut Butter Gamer's Minecraft Hardcore series, which is how I've really gotten to know and love these, you know, YouTubers. So I've been seeing this game around. I haven't seen any spoilers yet, but I've had a lot of friends say they've played it and recommend it to me. So today I'm gonna fulfill those recommendations and play it for myself. Now, a few things. I might have to tweak a few settings while I play because the only thing I've been able to really figure out so far is the audio, and it took me 30 minutes to get that figured out. So hopefully my webcam doesn't get in the way. If I do sense that it might be doing that, then I will fix that mid-recording. But enough of me rambling. Everything should be golden. So let's go ahead and play a new game. Chapter 1. Oh look, is that Natsuki? Man, okay, I won't make too many Doki Doki Literature Club jokes. Okay, the train made its way along the gentle curve of the coast of Japan. What's gonna be farther and farther from home? Japan? Well, I mean, if it's anime, it has to be in Japan, obviously. Or do I just click to go? Ah, good, okay. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced in whatever article he was reading and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked him if I could join him in the last compartment with any available space. He shrugged, nodded, and adjusted his newspaper without even making eye contact. It had been almost an hour, in fact, and he hadn't even looked once at me. He's not a real women respecter, isn't he? Is he? Ugh. Devoid of conversation, I took instead to counting the buttons on the pretentiously lush carmine seat cushions. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, over and over. Now and again, I'd turn to look out the window where the trees were blurring by. Sometimes the smeared green would break and reveal the quiet blue of the Sea of Japan. Again, it's interesting that this isn't Japan. Eventually, this rapidly made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Islamic attack! The train compartment shuddered around us. I'm sorry about that. My eyes wandered to the boy in his jacket. It wasn't the school-issued blue that I and the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was a green varsity-like jacket with an embroidered patch poorly sewn on front. It's Jared, isn't it? It's Jared, everybody! The hottest boy in town! Besides me, of course. Oh, do I have to do voices for all of them? This would be hard. Let me see. How can I do a Jared voice? So, you're a first year then? I don't know. He's a British accent. He does have a British accent. Okay, whatever. So you're a first year then? He folded his newspaper neatly, set it on his lap, and looked at me with a half-interest gaze. Did he just catch me staring? Now that the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me through heavy-lidded eyes. I guess they're heavy-lidded. His hair was immaculately groomed, his teeth straight, and blindingly bright. There was something about him, the way the light hit him, that made him look like he was almost sparkling. Me? I'm not doing that voice. Me? He glanced around the compartment, empty besides us, and laughed. Oh, no, I'm not a first year. I'm a third year. The train began to slow, metal wheels groaning against metal tracks. The sudden shift threatened to rob me of whatever was left in my stomach, but I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, willing to let myself keep it together. Oh, excuse me. What kind of impression would I leave? Puking on a student wherever we arrived at the academy. Now that's a scenario I'd like to see play out. The boy frowned. I picked at the head of my cotton skirt. That's not possible. I've never seen you before. It took me a moment of mouth fishing to find a response. It's because I'm a transfer student? He laughed again. A transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptance letter from the front pocket of my uniform. The paper, heavyweight, off-white, had accumulated creases from my reading and rereading, as if the words might have changed since the last time I read it. The boy took it, studied it, and then handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
Well then, Hannah, I suppose I'll be seeing you around. I really wish I could do a good Jared voice, but like, that's not my forte. I don't know. I wasn't really blessed with a particularly articulate voice. It can communicate Darth's voice, but not Jared's very well. But oh well, I'll do my best. I'm just worried because Jared won't be the only boy that I'll have to give voices to. So, alright, moving on. He smiled at me as he picked up the suitcase lying next to him. By the time I hiccuped a response, he was already gone from the compartment. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then that I realized, having gotten it from my acceptance letter, it was then that I realized he, having gotten it from my acceptance letter, knew my name and I never forgot his. Wait, what's his? It's not like Jared told her his name. The train settled at the station, and I filed out with the rest of the uniformed students. It was early April, and the last frost of winter had come and gone. The trees were already green, their leaves shivering in the occasional gusts weaving through them. The air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. I walked along the road with a swarm of jacketed bodies, looking at the little groups breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing so animatedly around me. I held my suitcase tight in my sweaty hands. It was leather-bound and worth more than anything it contained. It wasn't far to the school, and I was, for maybe the first time in my life, thankful that what I owned didn't amount to much. Man, I usually read better than this, so I better get my game on point. My school-issued black Oxfords clicked on the pavement. I walked this walk over and over in my mind. So many nights I lay awake, imagining what it would be like to walk from the train station to Asagao Academy this first time. My new start. I always imagined that everything would change for me on this walk. That somehow, everything would be magically different. But as I looked around, I realized nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. Asagao! Here we are, buds! Let's go join some hot clubs. Got the anime club here? By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I forgot all about the disappointment slouching in the back of my throat. Disappointment? Nothing bad's happened yet. The school, framed by the gate's twisting black metal, was just as beautiful as the glossy photos I saw in its pamphlets. This was it. Asagao Academy. I glanced around. The swarm of students gathering around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people bounced around the academy's main building. A girl pressed a button on one side of the gate. The excitement in the air was almost palpable. A few more moments later, the black gate, with great effort, creaked outwards and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted into motion, I followed along, a sheep in the herd. My stomach tied itself into knots. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked. Ah! Hello, Mr. Scrooge! A tired-looking man with graying hair called out for first years, a cluster of fresh-faced students gathering around him. Hey, look at that girl! I turned. A few feet away, a small group of boys were pointing at me and snickering. Pink hair? Are you kidding me? Are you a trap? How desperate can you get? Hot shame crawled down my neck. I attached myself to a group of girls, following a few steps behind them. In the distance, cicadas hummed in time to my shoes crunching against gravel. My hair. It wasn't my fault that my hair looked like this. Luckily, I found myself at the girls' dormitory, a large sign in the lawn reading Primrose House. The building dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. I guess that's normal. How many students did Asagao have? 420. Oh, hey, it's the chick from the Wendy's logo. As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingered nearby caught my attention. I looked away, then I looked back. She was staring at me. She walked over.
Oh, you must be my roommate!
Want a Frosty? I eyed her warily. She was smiling and bouncing in a way that suggested her views on life were akin to a perpetual bouncy castle.
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. Let me guess, room 325? I thought back to the paper I received a month prior with a list of all the supplies I needed for the year and my dorm arrangements. Yeah, that's right. She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. Was she laughing at me? When I found my roommate was a transfer student, I knew you were going to be a total main character. I'm sorry. What? When I saw you enter the gate, I, knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair. You don't have pink hair and not stand out. I felt a lump forming in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me. I haven't spent more than 5 minutes on campus, and I was already being mocked. My hands began to tremble. Is there something wrong with my hair? Oh, don't start crying. Not in public. That's going to make things awkward. Her face slacked from its amused smile to a more worried expression. Oh, she looks really sad now, too. Then she began to laugh again.
No. It's great.
I'm sorry. It's great. It's not like your hair looks freaking gay. Don't be ashamed of yourself.
We're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we? Oh, gosh. I'm Mai Sasaki. You must be Hana.
Oh, wait. Okay, so I guess the game does provide plenty of voices. So it's also my trouble making annoying voices. I bowed my head.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, May. All your school books are waiting in your room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad or anything like that. It's not like it was a breach of privacy or anything. May started walking towards the dorm's front doors. I followed behind like a lost puppy. Did you, check in at the front desk already? No, I haven't. No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to. Good. They'll offer to have a staff member give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around myself. We don't get many transfer students in year 3, you know. Oh, is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate our room with. I started already. I hope you don't mind at all. But I did wait to string the lights. I thought we could do it together, you know. She spoke quickly, the words bubbling from her mouth. Left me no time to answer until the end of her monologue. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. She held the front door open for me, and I hurried inside, because Wendy is a whammon respecter. Oh wow, lots of pink. Girls, whoa! Misogyny, you think girls like pink? What are you, a Republican? Jeez. Girls filed up and down the hallway, howling greetings and exchanging vague niceties, that's a new word, that were, more often than not, how was your break? And, look at how tan you got. Seems like everyone knew each other. I followed May as she led me through the maze of students and up 2 flights of stairs. Each dorm floor looked the same as the last. Narrow, white doors lining sides of the panel pink walls, thin gold numbers tacked to the front of each, the numbers rising as we climbed. You're not missing anything with the campus tour, I promise. Mr. Satomo does them every year, and he's, totally dull. He's dragged you around the entire campus and talks in that weird, squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I smiled, trying to let this calm my nerves. Thanks. We headed down the hallway to the 3rd floor. May stopped us in front of a door number 325. Here we are. Oh, dang. What is that obsession with Alvin Stein? That's strangely sexual, really creepily kinky. Oh, whatever. A faint smell of potpourri wafted through my room. What does it smell of pot? The walls, like the hallway, were soft, powdery pink. May already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazine cutouts, and photographs. Some of the photos were of not bats, cats, but most were of male models and rugged musicians. A bunk bed, 2 writing desks with wooden chairs, a small dresser, and a mirrored vanity? I don't know what that is. Must be a girl thing. All clearly provided by the school, with only pieces of furniture in the tiny room. The top bunk was already covered in neatly tucked blankets and throw pillows of clashing patterns and colors. The bottom bunk had a single, stiff-looking pillow and a thin cotton blanket that I didn't need to touch to know was horribly itchy. I must have grimaced, because May quickly smiled at me. I brought way too many pillows and blankets. I always overpack. I went to Italy over break, and Mom got really mad at me because I brought 5 bags, but we were only there for a week. She laughed, pulling several blankets and pillows from her bunk, and rearranged them neatly on mine. A sudden twinge of guilt and embarrassment hit me.
Perfection.
There, that's much better. Thanks, May. I placed my suitcase on the bottom bunk and began to unpack its contents. Several changes of clothing, pens and pencils, empty notebooks, a few photographs of my father, and a dilapidated stuffed rabbit, an old portable radio, and a small black box. May opened the curtains and the sunlight poured in. So, where are you from? I slid the now empty suitcase under the bottom bunk. About 2 hours north of here. It's a small town called Amaririsu. You probably haven't heard of it. I set the stuffed rabbit, Mr. Bunny, on my bed besides a purple and teal throw pillow. Oh, did you go to a different boarding school, or... No, I went to a public school down the street from my house. Public school? What was that like? Were the students mean? Did you have a lot of friends? I always went to private school. My parents worked a lot, and my dad goes overseas, so I think they stuck me there for convenience. Oh, hey, what's that? I'd removed an ornately patterned origami crane from the black box and was setting it on the unclaimed writing desk. Oh, this? My mother made it for me a long time ago, before she died in Vietnam. I set it beside a stack of thick textbooks, which I assumed were provided for me.
Aww.
Wow, it's so pretty. I've never seen paper like that before. Oh, yeah, the lights. Let me go get them. May went to her own desk, opened the drawer, and pulled out a long, tangled string of fairy lights. I thought these might look nice. Here, help me string them up. She grabbed a container of pushpins, then pulled her wooden desk chair out and over to one wall. I did the same with my own. Together, we pinned the lights around the perimeter of the room. How was the train ride over? Did you meet anyone? No, not really. I was in a compartment with some guy and...
What?
Some guy? Huh? Was he cute? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. Right. Of course you weren't paying attention. I didn't even get his name. May seemed disappointed for a moment, then perked back up. You'll have to point him out to me if you see him again. Okay. Once we finished stringing the lights, May climbed down from her chair and brushed her hands together triumphantly.
Yeah!
Done! Okay, now it's time for lunch. The food here is pretty good. There's this ramen place down the street from the campus, and it's like out of this world. But the school only lets us leave campus on weekends. May walked to the window. We could go today because it's Sunday. It's pretty nice out, but I guess you might want to go to the cafe. Well, I assume the school cafe since you just got here. We could. She was suddenly interrupted by her own enthusiastic laughter. Is she yonder? Come on. I don't feel like getting stabbed at night. Oh my gosh! Mimi Santos totally just tripped outside and fell on her face. I saw it with my own eyes. Oh, does that mean to laugh? Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh well. Anyways, let's go eat. I'm totally starved. She led me out of the room before I even had the chance to respond. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped into line behind May, taking an empty plastic tray. That rhymes. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed something that looked good. With full trays, May led me straight to a table in the back where a few students were already sitting. May sat down and I took a seat across from her. What voice should I do for this chick? Let me think. Hi, May. How was your break? It was redunk. I went to Italy and Spain and Iraq. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle. He didn't live for a week.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, though, after we got the necromancer and everything. Oh. Well, that's nice. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends and May turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork, and tell me in a practically minute-by-minute account about her fleeting romance last summer with the boy she met on the beach, then go further than a few salty kisses. I sat back and let Maid talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked up my Brussels sprouts. Why'd you get Brussels sprouts, you vegan? And studied May as she spoke. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her.
Well...
She had a high songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic, her face twisting this way and that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seemingly unrelated to her actual opinion of them. But most noticeably, she talked. A lot. I didn't find this particularly annoying, as it filled the silence, and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as May was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked in front of her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a flash of a familiar green caught my eye. That's a weird story she was telling. Anyways, I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Bro Jared! Huh? Who? That's funny, because it says that she has a light, like the really light voice, but I already gave that to the main character, so that's... Oh, well. Blah! I leaned across the table to whisper, just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train! That's him!
What?
Jared? Yeah. With the weird green jacket and swoopy hair. He just picked up his train and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Oh, you! I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me.
Hana.
Hana. So I gotta do Jared voice. Hana. 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 I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Really well. I found my roommate, and she's been helping me out. I gestured to May, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everybody was. This is interesting. People stopped eating to turn and stare at Jared and me. My shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need help, I'll be around. Third year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Oh jeez. Oh my goodness. Well, I'll see you around. I watched, a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket. That's Jared! She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. He's the most beautiful guy in the school.
Oh, Jared.
I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at May. Her cheeks were glowing in an indecent pink. Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. You know, Jared? Oh, it's that lady again. That girl turned back to me and was looking at me with sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. You weren't friends or anything. But looking around, May and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt? Oh boy. Our first choice, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm thinking if we say I guess so, it might boost our popularity, but like it could bite us in the back later. And plus I'm not really the type who would like, tell a little lie like that just to get a little bit of attention. So I'm going to go with not really. Oh. She looked at me up and down, sniffed, and turned away. Yeah, I know, but if that dark-haired girl, she was a type who would only listen to me if I like knew the cute guy in school. I don't need to know her. May leaned towards me. Don't mind Mimi. I won't mind her when she has a name like that. She was just trying to get in with you. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys in their jackets, right? Those are their Normal Boots Club's jackets. Oh, there we go, son. They're what? What's Normal Boots Club? Ha ha ha. Oh boy, this is incredibly cute guy. Who's that dude? I don't know the tan dude, but I know everybody else. So let me see. See, JonTron, PBG, Jared, Satch, the worst hardcore guest ever. No, not Soa. Shane, that's Shane. Is that Gerard? Might be Gerard. Honestly, can't tell. I think that's Gerard. And then I don't know who. Actually, I don't know who that is. I don't. Caddy? No, I don't think it's Caddy. I'm not sure who that dude is, and I'm not sure who that dude is. But I guess we'll find out. So anyways, it's a club we have at school here. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They get together and play video games. Ooh, that's my type of club. Or something. Maybe they watch anime. That one right there is John, also known as JonTron. His birth's name is Jakes. Or, I think it's pronounced Jakes. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Really? No one would have thought. Then there's Gerard. Yes, I was right. That's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. He's the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. Okay? Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared, or Sexy Jared. He's a model. Then there's Satchbag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. Those guys over there are, wait a minute. Okay, that's Paul. This dude right here is Paul. I can't tell between Nick and Josh. I only know Paul because I've seen him in HC, but I didn't know he had a tan like that, dang. So those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the school newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the other end is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone, ever. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. Careful, don't want to get germs there. So, how would someone you know join the Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the Normal Boots, Hana. The Normal Boots choose you. Well, what does that even mean? You have to be presented with the boots. You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club. And they're like super selective. What are the boots? The club has this boot statue. It's like the one thing on their patches, but it's gold plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do this weird initiation ritual with it. Ritual? Oh, no. Oh, that's how I lost my mom. Please, I can't have any more rituals. Oh, I hear they fill a room with candles and wear these totally creepy robes during initiation. They happen to be white. This year, two girls said this year two girls said she saw it once, and they were all like chanting around the boots, and it sounded like they were talking backwards. It's kind of creepy, but I don't believe her. And even if it's true, I don't care if they're a cult because they're all really hot, even if they are members of the KKK. Do they have a lot of friends? Yeah, tons of friends. I'd say they're like the most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or boy, for that matter. Hey, are you going to eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the plastic tray across the table to her. For the remainder of the lunch, I listened to May talk about Jared through mouthfuls of half-dissolved frosting. Back at the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. May fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture.
Hey!
Hey, May!
Mm-hmm.
She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure mound and a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover. Yeah, this one! I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. May shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library? May riffled through her notebooks and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh. Okay. Well, I'll be back in a little bit. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the maps upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. Okay, and I think this is a good place to end the episode. I'm not quite sure in the end what I want the average episode length to be, but for now I don't want it to be too long. And I think I've been recording for a little under half an hour, so I think that's a good start. So, yeah, that's enough for this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We got to meet Jared. Well, we got to meet the whole cast, but specifically Jared. And it seems like this normal boots club is a pretty big thing at the school, so maybe we could get in and finally have a social life. So, yeah. So be sure to tune in next time for when I continue my saga, and we'll see if I survive my excursion into the library. So, with that, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed again. If you did, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. You know, it's a free country, unless you live in, like, North Korea or something. And most importantly, be sure to subscribe so that you'll be notified the moment I upload the next episode in the series. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and peace out.